1.5 years old. I don't remember it. My mom put me and my youngest sister in a car with one of my aunts, and they drove us in. My parents' dream was always kind of to go back because that's where their family was. That's where their roots were. Like everything they had left was in Mexico. But by that time, it was Veronica, my sister, me, and my brother Mario and my sister Mary Lou. My dad, we picked everything up and we left. And at the beginning, for me, it seemed like vacations. You know, I've never traveled outside of LA, and I was like, I'm gonna go meet my grandparents, and it was exciting and kind of frightening. And when we got to Mexico, the reality kind of hit home because my sister was born with this disability, and there were absolutely no schools there for her. She had to stay at home, and everything that she had progressed, she started to regress, and she started to have more seizures. When I speak English, I have an accent. When I speak Spanish, I have an accent. So it was just really hard to adjust culturally, and economically, I think it was the first time that I realized what poverty really was. My dad decided to come back. He came back and he started working for 3 months, and then he sent for us. And I think that was the first time I realized that we weren't crossing legally because. So everybody knows a coyote, the person that brings you here. So all of us were in the hotel with my mom, and the woman came to pick us up, and it was just really hard because I was the oldest, and I didn't want to cry, and I didn't want my mom to feel bad. So we crossed, and we came here again, and we rebuilt again. Like my dad found permanent work, and my mom had a really hard time crossing. We were without her for a month. When I was in middle school, kind of when I met Julie, I knew that my situation wasn't like everyone else, and I knew that I was undocumented. So I decided to join a group to kind of like, if I had to fight for what I wanted. So I joined the Dreamers, which is an organization that was fighting to pass the Dream Act. And the Dream Act it's a bill that says that if you came here and you study here and you went to high school here and you go to a university and graduate from there, or if you go to the military for 2 years, you'll be on a path towards citizenship. I've been trying to fight for that for over 10 years now. And last year it fell by 4 votes. That's the closest we've ever gotten to passing it in the Senate. And it was really tough, because this was the second time that it had been rejected. But it wasn't as hard as the first time. The first time I was a senior in high school. And my dream had always been to go to college and to graduate, because it was a way of honoring all the sacrifices that my parents had made for us. But that year, I remember we went on a fast. So we fasted for 8 days all across California and got to Sacramento, and when I realized that the Dream Act had failed, it was a really, the thing about it is when you fast, it's really hard, not just physically because you're not eating, but you're in this state mentally in which everything is more intense, in which you feel everything more, and the fact that it didn't pass was kind of like a slap to the face, and it was really bad because I didn't. After coming back, the applications were due to apply to colleges, and I did them. I filled them all out. I was helping other people fill theirs out, but I never sent them because I thought that there was no point in doing that. Like, why send something if when I graduate I'm not going to be able to work at what I want? Like, why waste money in an education that's not going to help me because I'm not going to get to work for it? Like, and it was really tough because everybody at a place go home, and my mom kept asking me when the acceptance letters were going to get in, and they kept like asking, and I finally told my mom that I never sent it. And it was really tough because my mom is the one person that I admire the most, and the one person I never want to fail. And telling her that was like, I failed you, and I failed everything you stand for, like. But again, she looked at me and she's like, doesn't matter where you start, it matters where you end. this is just another step, another obstacle that you have to overcome. And now I'm in Santa Monica. I'm trying to transfer this year. I think it was just really tough because from the neighborhood that we come from, if you're not expected to be a lot. When you're little, you're told that you can be anything, but once you start growing up, you're just like, you're told you're gonna be another statistic. I think it's because of people like Julie and people like in centers like A Place Home, people like you. They came into my life and if they believe in me, I believe in myself too.